so you know these are recorded, so you can go back and see them later or share them with all of your friends. So my name is Sarah Lang. For those of you who don't know me, I manage the Southern Vermont Economy Project out of the Brattleboro Development Credit Corporation office. This is our webinar series titled Knowledge Bites, and this is our 15th session. We hold them on the 2nd and 4th Tuesdays of every month. And today we have Whytnee Bush, who is in the Office of the Attorney General, and she's going to be talking about the Consumer Assistance Program. So the goal of these webinars is to provide a high-level introduction to programs, resources, and tools that either directly focus on economic and workforce development or play some role in those fields. At the end of the session, Whytnee will provide us with her contact information, and if you want any more detailed information on the Consumer Assistance Program or anything out of the Attorney General's office, you can reach out to her. Briefly, the structure is about a 20-minute presentation and then 10 minutes of question and answer. Most of you, if you're on your computer, I'll have you muted. So if you have any questions, just go ahead and type it into the chat function. For those of you on your phone, please mute yourselves. And at the end of the presentation, if you have questions, please feel free to unmute yourself and ask those questions. Again, they're archived, and you will be able to view them and share them at this website below. All right, I am going to hand the reins over to Whytnee. Just give us 1 second. She will take it away.
All right, can you guys see my first slide there?
Yep.
Awesome. So I am Whytnee Bush. I am the small business advocate with the Attorney General's Consumer Assistance Program. My role is, this past year, has been to spearhead the Small Business Initiative. I have the contact info for CAP on the front page there, but I'm happy to send it out to folks later. So the Consumer Assistance Program also goes by CAP. So you might hear me say that, and that's what I'm referring to. That is our Attorney General, T.J. Donovan, answering calls in our office. So the Consumer Assistance Program is a partnership with UVM and the Attorney General's office. It's been in place for about 40 years, and we receive about 13,000 consumer complaints per year. We get those via phone, email, and our online form. And so the Consumer Assistance Program has traditionally supported individual consumers when they have issues with businesses, but the Small Business Initiative I've been tasked with telling the business community that we, in fact, offer that service for businesses as well. So folks can call us if they need help understanding and applying with Vermont law, which I'll walk you through our website, which does that. Solve problems and connect to resources, which is the consumer issue mediation that we do. And then we also help folks navigate state government. So if you have any issues and you're not sure who to call in state government, I know small businesses don't have a lot of time to do the running around. So I oftentimes will do that on behalf of them and figure out who exactly they need to talk to and get them that contact info. And then just some examples of some mediations we've done. They can be pretty simple issues that small businesses have with vendors. For example, we had a nail salon that hired a paver. And the paver started the work, they were paid, but then they never finished it, and they weren't responding to outreach from the nail salon. So they contacted the Consumer Assistance Program. We reached out to the paver on their behalf and got the work done. In southern Vermont, in the Brattleboro area, as well as Bennington, we had several constituents say that their address on Google Maps was incorrect, that there was a hamlet nearby being listed instead of Bennington or Brattleboro. The businesses had tried to take care of it themselves. They weren't able to, just given the way that Google's set up, it's not super user-friendly. But fortunately, we had a contact at Google that we had worked with in the past that we could reach out to, and they were able to make that correction for the businesses. So I will take you guys through our website right now. which I think is one of the best resources for small businesses, is a great place to start. So if you go on, I'll take you quickly to our homepage. On our homepage, you'll see guidance and information for businesses on the top there. And you click and you'll see PJ's smiling face. And we have a listing of topics that folks can find more information on. When we first started reaching out to the business community, a lot of folks were saying that they needed help with HR topics, such as ban the box. So if you click the drop down, you can see here that we do a little quick blurb here, and then we also drafted plain language information. So it's in a Q&A format, and it just kind of gives you the basics of the questions that folks asked us about ban the box. And then we also include a link to the statute. And we do that for several topics. And this is updated after, the intention is to update this after each legislative session so that you have the most relevant information. There's a couple other projects that I've undertaken that there was just gaps in knowledge for business consumers. And I'll take you through a few of those now. The first one was acquiring commercial property. It's for businesses that are looking to rent or purchase commercial space, and we encourage those folks to reach out to several folks at the municipal and state level just to make sure that there's no surprises at the end of when you're trying to have your grand opening or open a manufacturing space or settle into your office. So we list out those 5 steps there. I'll let you guys peruse on your own time if that is of interest. We also put together how to hire your first employee. Let me click through it here. We worked with a few other state agencies to determine the state requirements. We also put together the federal requirements for just each of the steps that you need to take. So if you click the drop downs here, you'll see that it takes you step by step. And then we did, the last part was paying your first paycheck and marking your calendar so that you have the bi-weekly, monthly, quarterly, and annually steps you need to take. And then we also have contact information for the other agencies that we worked with so that if you have any questions, you can ask them along the way. And then most recently, I actually just added this yesterday on small business loans. We had a constituent contact us and say that he was a bookkeeper that saw a few businesses that were dealing with some online commercial loans that didn't necessarily have favorable terms for the business consumer. So in turn, we used some guidance that we actually had in our office for payday loans and reworked it so that it's pertinent to small businesses that are seeking loans. So we have information here on lender licensing, information on interest rates, and some steps that you can take to ensure that you're getting a legal commercial loan. And the content for this website, as we've built it, it's been really great working with the business community because, first of all, we want to make sure that we're doing information that's useful and helpful to folks, and we're constantly looking for feedback. So as we work with small businesses and small business stakeholders, we're always asking, is this relevant? Is this pertinent? What else are you guys looking to learn about? Some of the topics that we intend to address upcoming include folks in the agriculture industry are looking for a variety of resources, so we're working with the Agency of Agriculture to build those. And then we've gotten a handful of questions on drug testing, so that's something that we're hoping to add to our website. Come back to the PowerPoint here. So what's next on top of those specific topics I referred to for our website? We're going to continue our conversation in Vermont's business communities. It's imperative that we keep our finger on the pulse of your concerns and make sure that we're addressing those in any way we can. We want to be proactive and troubleshoot, so we're not trying to react and be punitive with small businesses that have questions about the law. As you probably saw the quote from TJ on our business website, he wants to give businesses the opportunity to comply with the law. So if you do, in fact, have questions, call us. We're not going to come after you. We're going to give you the information that you need and hopefully clarify any questions you do have about Vermont law. So we're also going to continue to work with other state agencies to serve Vermonters and Vermont businesses more effectively. That'll manifest itself in myriad ways, but it's been great to work with other state agencies that support small businesses. They've been really enthusiastic about also supporting the business community in a very thoughtful way, in a comprehensive way. So if you guys have any thoughts or concerns or ideas, I would love to hear from you. My email address is whitney.bush@vermont.gov, and my phone number is 802-391-0910. So I kept it short there, but would love to leave plenty of time for questions. So any questions would be wonderful.
Great. Thanks so much, Whytnee. Like I had said, go ahead and type any questions you have into that chat function, or if you are just on the phone, feel free to unmute yourself to ask your question. In the meantime, while people are maybe thinking or typing, I'll ask a question. What is the weirdest or most unusual thing that someone has come to you for advice or direction?
Oh my goodness.
I always like to hear about those.
You know, I can't think of a business complaint off the top of my head that's exceptionally wacky. But when I did start, my colleagues told me about 10 years ago, the office received a package of human hair.
Oh.
Right. So they were like, what the heck is this? You know, what's going on? It turns out that a teenage Vermonter, and I can't remember what particular area he was from. His parents told him when he turned 16 he could get dreadlocks. He turned 16. They went to the local salon. The salon used hot glue gun to give him dreadlocks.
No.
So needless to say, that was extremely painful for the teenage Vermonter, and they had all sorts of problems that arose from him getting glue gun dreadlocks. Mm-hmm. So our office reached out to the local salon because when the constituents had reached out, the salon said, you know, we just did what you asked, and we don't feel we owe you a refund. Our office reached out and said, yeah, I mean, it's probably, you know, the best idea here to retain this customer would be to give a refund in this situation. So that they did in fact get a full refund from giving glue gun dreadlocks. So I thought that was pretty funny to hear that they had mailed the hair as part of their complaint.
Huh. Well, I guess, yeah, there's no reason to keep it, so.
Sarah, do you think it would be helpful for me, though, to walk through some of the other phone calls that I've gotten?
Yeah, I think, you know, maybe some examples of, you know, what people have called about and how you've addressed it could help.
Yeah, absolutely. So early on, I got a phone call from a couple of landlords that had received some paperwork from the Department of Environmental Conservation that said that they were responsible for clearing some of the contamination on their property. And the business was not, they didn't quite understand why, the landlords didn't understand why they were on the hook for it. They felt that, you know, the previous owners or the neighbors may be responsible. And so we went to DEC with the complaint, and DEC in turn drafted a letter that included the information about why they were in fact responsible for the contamination. So a lot of times when we come up with solutions for folks or get answers for folks, it's not necessarily what they want to hear, but especially with questions that they have with state government offices, usually they just want more information. They want clarity on, why they're responsible, or they have questions about, why certain offices took the steps that they did. And so in that case, even though the constituent was hoping that they didn't want to be responsible for the contamination, it was made clear why. So that was really helpful to them. I had another constituent call us, and she had a client that was overdue with a bill, and so she had in turn sent it to a debt collection agency. The debt collection agency didn't collect any of the debt, but still had a bill for this individual that she had paid. And so what she wanted to do was cancel the contract because she didn't feel like they were doing the work that they needed to be doing. And she felt like, she could more effectively take care of the debt collection herself. So our process, we send the original complaint that we received online to the debt collection company, and in turn she received a cancellation of the contract and a refund of the fees that she had paid. And so she found that extremely useful, and that's what she used CAP for.
Looks like we've got a question.
Yeah, I see one from Steve. Oh, here we go.
Mind just reading it?
Not at all.
People on the phone can hear.
Sure. So Steve said, I own a small business and recently moved to Vermont. Is there a good resource for small businesses to understand the steps to be taken for registering taxes and unemployment tax? So I think that the Secretary of State's website, they have an online feature that actually connects to the Department of Tax as well. I'm not sure if you've had a chance, Steve, to check that out, but I'd also be happy if you want to send me a quick note to put you in touch with the folks specifically at the Secretary of State's office and the tax department that can set you up with that if you haven't talked to those folks already.
Great. Are there any other questions? Lee? I don't know if you have any questions. All right. Well, it looks like we're out of questions. Again, feel free. You see Whytnee's email and phone number there at the bottom of the screen. I'm just going to go ahead. Oh, Lee has a question. Just wondering if there are programs that happen face-to-face for small businesses.
Well, Lee, there's a slew of programs. I would say for the most individualized help, the Small Business Development Centers are a great place to start. And we also, given that my role, I'm traveling across the state as much as possible. If, I happen to be in folks' areas, I'm always happy to stop by and chat face-to-face. When I am doing travels to networking events or various community events, what I'll do is see if we have any outstanding cases or any cases that, I can have a chance to follow up in person. So I'm going to presume you're in the Brattleboro area, and I'd be happy to sit down and chat with you about any thoughts or concerns you have.
Great. Okay, well, I'm going to go ahead and switch back to my screen to ask any more questions just while I finish up here. Like I had said, these are twice a month, so the second and fourth Tuesdays. So upcoming, we have on February 13th, we have Elaine from ACCD, and she's going to be talking about thinkvermont.com, which is their newest website put out there to attract and retain residents, businesses to Vermont. So I think it's really important that we understand how we in Southern Vermont can help populate that website. And so she'll be there on the 13th to talk with us about that. And then on the 27th, we'll have Hillary from the Department of Tourism and Marketing talking about the vacationvermont.com website, as well as marketing opportunities for tourism businesses. Looks like there was one more comment. Lee had said, she's in Brattleboro. Lee works at CCV down here in Brattleboro. It says we might be able to connect you with some of our student leaders in business and accounting. So feel free, Lee, to reach out to Whytnee. I can also connect the two of you via email if that works as well. All right, well, if we don't have any other questions, please, if there's any programs or resources that you want to hear more about, to email me or call me and let me know. We're always looking for new programs and resources to host on this webinar. So thank you, Whytnee. Really appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, and again, this will be archived at the website, and if you want to share it with anyone, feel free to do so, okay? Have a great day, everyone.
Thanks, everyone.